We'll get him started now, and then we'll talk about him in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So the two players we've got here are Dengler and Myles. These players have never faced each other in Classic Tetris Monthly. They do have some results against each other in some other tournaments like Classic Tetris League, but they've never faced each other in Classic Tetris Monthly. Neither one has won a Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event, and yet one of them will be in the semifinals to get a shot at it. Dengler did make the semifinals last month. Nice adjustment for Dengler with that Z piece to make room for that S piece. And he knows all the tricks for maintaining efficiency and minimizing burns. Dengler, maybe most notable achievement besides getting a top 4 in the Classic Tetris World Championship this year. Also the author of the first ever perfect max out, and that is a max out without taking any burns. This is all Tetrises the entire way through. That is a first ever, that at least recorded anyway, that we really know of. And Myles, of course, known, has been in the Classic Tetris community for 5 years, has been around forever, been in Masters many, many times, has finished in second place multiple times, but has yet to take one down. Both players kind of fighting up near the top of the board. Dengler going to get a bar over to bring that stack down a little bit with a double, but not out of the woods yet. Okay, there's a triple, yeah, and a double. That's going to help Dengler bring this down. Myles fighting at the top of the stack as well. Opens up that right side, gets a bar down for Tetris, and can take a moment to breathe. So Myles with a good board gets another Tetris. Dengler looking to uncover that well and get his board back down. Another Tetris Myles 212 halfway to the level 19 transition, which happens at 130 lines. Dengler finally clean, and Tetris Ready gets a Tetris 174. As I mentioned, Dengler did make the semifinals last month. And Myles went out to, in top 8, to Scooty, who was a finalist in that event. But one of these guys will make it to the semifinals in a month where we don't have a ton of former Masters event winners kind of in the way. There's, Scooty, Brodendamp, and now his Masters event was, he has 2 of them. Those are won during the tapping era, so Broden as a roller hasn't won one. SV Nestris, Sidnev, and Dog, and those are the winners. So it's kind of fewer than normal. So that means there's usually an opportunity for one of these players to get their first one. Because no Andy, no Fractal. Those are the 2 big omissions. Broden has a 1.9 now. Yeah, Broden won during the sort of the tapping era, though. So, and is a relatively new and somewhat infrequent roller, but very, very talented. And no Alex. Yeah, that's right. So Andy, Alex, and Fractal, none of those, which are huge landmines in this tournament if you run into them early. Not playing this month. That does leave it open for someone to maybe a little more easily get their first one under their belt. 511 Myles, 473 for Dengler. And certainly both of these players kind of on that short list of players you think, yeah, they're going to get one of these days. Like, they've got what it takes. And maybe this is the opportunity that they both need. I mean, not that anybody in this entire bracket is easy. But, you know, when you've got players like Andy and Alex and Fractal out of the running, that does help. 567 Myles, 501, now 507 into 19 for Dengler. Is there a reason Alex is not qualifying? Yeah, he just wants a break. Just wants to take a break, which I think is healthy. You should take a break. Tetris Myles, 642, 583. I'd never discourage anyone from taking a break. That's why I am starting to think a little bit about maybe not doing every single month, not only for the player's sake, but also for my sake. But I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. 643 for Dengler, 711 for Myles. Oh, that's true. Moodus has been taking a break from Masters as well. Tetris Myles, 770, 703 for Dengler here in game number 1. Vandy, you're allowed to have someone else on Masters comms. No, I'm not. I'm really not allowed to. I can't afford it. That's the biggest thing. I can't afford it. 896 for Dengler, 963 for Myles. So Myles with about a 70,000 point lead. Myles with the max out on 27. Real Bland says, Vandy, I'll com for free. Well, you know, you get what you pay for. Dengler with the Tetris 995, just a few thousand points away from the max out. Tetris Dengler, A65, Myles with the B10, takes a Tetris column 8 into 29 at B46. There's a Tetris Dengler into 29 at B03, I think it was. So both players with the 1.1 into 29. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed having Harry, but it would be weird to have someone who doesn't acknowledge level 30 nowadays. When the most important parts of the game are post level 30. Tetris Myles D18, C30 for Dengler. Tetris Myles D58, so Myles with about 120,000 point lead. Dengler will get a Tetris D72. Myles gets one back. He's got the E00 at 30 on level 33. Tetris for Dengler. Was that a Tetris? I think it was a Tetris. Yes, D00 Dengler. Myles with a Tetris E61, Tetris Dengler D41, and another Tetris Myles, 120,000 point lead. It was a triple? Okay, thank you. I didn't look, well, that's why I was unsure. Maybe if I were paying someone, they would know what it was. All right, Tetris Dengler F14, F55 for Myles. We're kind of hurtling toward a double rollover and more. Dengler piling up on that left, gets a long bar over for the Tetris F63. Myles has the rollover. Dengler gonna get a rollover as well with the long bar over for a Tetris. Kind of waiting out some RNG here, a little bit of a drought. And trying to keep it open, Myles gets a Tetris over 0.90. And another Tetris, Myles with the 1.73. Dengler with the 1.63. Dengler trying to bring this down. Myles is into 30. It gets a Tetris. A critical Tetris there for Myles. He's got the 1.788. And another 1.7. Dengler is not really going to be able to do much here unless he can set up for like 3 Tetrises and get one. I'm not sure what he can do. And he can't get that bar over. That's going to be a double rollover between Dengler and Myles. Myles got his first 1.7 in the previous match and gets his second ever 1.7 and new Masters PB. Another PB for Myles. PBs in back-to-back matches for Myles. He's going to take game number 1 in this round 2 match. GG's. And Dengler with the rollover as well. So huge game. My heart can't take it. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And if you're not sure who to root for and you want a, kind of regional favorite to root for, Dengler from the New England area and Myles from the Southwest area. So we don't want to tell you exactly their home addresses, but if that matters to you, then there you go. All right, players building their initial stacks a little bit high. Both of them. Oh, Myles can't get the bar over. That's going to be a top out for Myles in game number 2. And Dengler is good. So a gift. An early Christmas gift given from Myles to Dengler. Myles just wanted to get that, be built up really, really high, had a long bar, tried to get it over, but missed a tap or something to that right. I guess missed the 4th tap to get that bar over, or maybe it was just too high or whatever, but that was it. So Dengler, you are good. Confirmed. The best of 3 between Dengler and Myles in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Starting off with the T, Z, and O. So an early top out there for Myles. It happens to the best of them. And yet another plank in the argument as to why we don't do. Why don't you just start on 19? Why don't you guys just start on 19? Well, because players don't always have everything figured out on 18. If it got to the point where it's just 750k transitions every time, you'd probably have to think about it. All right, so Dengler with a Spire. Let's see what he's going to do here. Trying to work around it. Had an opportunity to take a burn down the right side, but ended up kind of extending the Spire here by not taking that burn, and instead got Tetris ready. And we'll see if he can get out of this. Opens up that right side. Tetris Dengler 76,000. And there's one Myles 99,000 and Dengler. Okay, another Tetris. So We're out of the danger zone for both of these players. So it's feast or famine in this bracket here for Myles. I mean, either getting 1.7 PBs or failing to get the 100K here, but gets the Vits. The beautiful Vits for Myles, 169. Jasmine says, yes, I love Vits. Shianobi loves it as well. Jasmine, what are you going to do? How are you going to retire from, Vits? Are you going to pass on the torch to another Vits enjoyer, or what are you going to do? You don't want to be Vits enjoyer forever. Jasmine says, I enjoy other things too. Good. 283 Myles, 284 Dengler, Tetris Myles. Jasmine saying Vits is just but one part of her rich personality. Am I going to retire from line spin enjoyer, Vandy? Yeah, definitely. Any day now. Pam Owen says, Vits haters rise up. How are there Vits haters? How could you hate them? All right, there's a triple for Dengler that will uncover that right side Tetris well. And Game Scout is indifferent to the Vits. Tetris Dengler 384, 422 Myles. I don't know, Pamo, and I saw Vits haters rise up. That's a quote. I don't think you can live it down. All right, there's a Tetris Dengler 453. We cross the 100 line mark. Would 750K be the perfect transition score? Yeah, basically, what is it? 756, something like that. Oh, 754. Plus now Biggie Mac says 754 plus push down. I don't count push down as part of it. Push down is kind of extra. I would still call it perfect even if you didn't push it down, while still acknowledging that you can get a perfect transition and still not have the transition world record. 595 Dengler, 628 Myles. $619 into 19 for Dengler. A little bit high here. Long bar over Tetris. Long bar in for Myles into 19 at 676. So a huge transition pace from Myles. Tetris Dengler, Tetris Myles. So two huge transitions from these players. Big scores on level 20 and 21. Dengler in a little bit of a slowdown here, though. All right, Dengler getting high on the board here. No burns on that left side, and he's going to top out at 783. He left himself with no burns on that left side. See that channel, that 3-deep channel. So Myles good in game number 3, and was really, when he's got no burns on that left side, he's really just kind of all in on that bar. Whether he puts that bar to the left or uses it to the right, which I would assume he would use it to the right. And so kind of a victim of the high-centered board. Dengler needs to win to stay in. Myles looking to wrap it up right now. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So I wouldn't call it an early top out from Dengler since it was post 29, but earlier than you would be expecting. And so, you know, a little bit tough there, but you know, kind of it's kind of Dengler's style is just to really build to the ceiling. And either you're going to get a big pace, or, you know, fairly often end up in, you know, kind of a big blow up at the top. And speaking of big blow ups at the top, Myles now is in trouble trying to bring this down, and I'm not sure he's going to survive. He's getting pieces over, but no, that's going to be it. Myles is going to top out, and Dengler is good in game number 4. Do either of these players want to win this thing? I mean, those early top outs are just wild. It's been a quick one. Dengler and Myles trading early top outs, except for that one time where they both rolled over the score. So I don't know what to expect in this game number 5, but the winner is going to move on to the semifinals. So let's get them counted down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Barrett says double club 0, 6 game incoming. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe some of the dynamic here is both of these players, you know, can put up huge paces. Dengler has got, you know, the ability to play for a long time without taking any burns. And I think sometimes that mentality does carry over into competition where you do have to be willing to take some burns and play a little bit more conservatively. But on the other hand, you know, Myles here did just win a game with a 1.7 against a 1.6 against Dengler. So that could also be in the back of Dengler's mind. And then Myles, of course, knows all this about Dengler and thinks he has to put up huge paces and not take burns. So it's always a very interesting dynamic. You know, what players are bringing into the competition. Oh, they need the decider. There you go. We'll put it, let's put it right here. $84,000 for Myles as we get underway. $120 for Dengler. Dengler with a dirty Tetris column 8. And Myles just going to take this safe triple. Not going to push his luck. Just wants a good safe board. He can start to build up and start stacking again. All right, so Myles early on finds himself about 90,000 points behind. He's going to get a Tetris. It is still early in this game number 5. I know what we do want is a deep, deep run from these players. $310 Dengler, $226 for Myles. Myles with that T-spin kind of set up though, but T didn't come in time, so he ends up just chucking something in there and burning it down row by row. Kind of a spire starting up for Myles here, so he's gonna have to work around that. And long bar goes down for the triple. $404 Dengler, $264 for Myles. All right. Myles going to get a Tetris, 287. Dengler with pretty good pace here through 91 lines, 427. Tetris Dengler, 450. This is once again, we crossed the 100 line mark. Dengler, Tetris, tucks in a J, skims a T, long bar, Tetris. So we're just about 15 lines away from the level 19 transition. Speed increases by 50%. So Myles is into 19 at 438, and he's up a bit high on the screen here. This is going to be tough for Myles to dig out of, but he gets a couple of great pieces, and he fills in with that L piece. He's got a row of garbage over that right side. He's going to uncover it. He wants a quick bar here. He's going to have to take a skim. Uncovers, he gets a bar down for a Tetris. Dengler is on 19, 605. He's going to get a Tetris. But Myles kind of falling further and further behind, as Dengler's just been cooking for a bit. Tetris for Myles, 784, back by 150,000 points. 706 Myles, 778 for Dengler. $775 for Myles, $872 Dengler, Tetris Dengler. So Myles has cut into this lead a little bit, except he's got, he's ahead by 10 lines. So Dengler's got lines in hand. Dengler setting up that S flat on the right side, burns away very easily. That's why you do it. Tetris for Dengler, $969. Another Tetris Dengler. He's got the max out. So Myles has made up ground versus Dengler. And both players really very efficient. Tetris Dengler, A70. Another Tetris Myles, 948. Another Tetris Myles, 984. So looking for one more. And Myles is into 29 at 994. He's going to get a long bar in to bring this stack down. Dengler with the B42. And he's going to take a B78 into 29. Myles with a Tetris, A41. So it's really interesting how you approach this. And Dengler has shown that, 29, he can go super deep, has a rollover in this match. B98 for Dengler. Myles' board getting a little bit dicey here at the bottom of the board, so just trying to bring this down. And oh no, that left side for Myles. That is going to be so tricky, but he gets bars over. I don't know how he's going to survive. He gets another bar over. That's going to be a top out for Myles at A80, and Dengler is good and will be moving on to the semifinals for the second month in a row. We'll watch him mulling this out. By the way, hey everybody, it's your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you and have a nice day. And it's Dengler. No duvet cover at all. It's Septangler, says Scout. So yeah, do you have a blanket, bro? Or what? I need to. Do you have a blanket, or you just sleep with just uncovered? That's the question. Is it in the laundry? Bro's got a big pillow. Oh yeah, true. You got those electrical cords at night. You're probably knocking those electrical cords out with your elbow like every night and constantly have to put them back in. I have the same thing. I do the same thing. I knock this thing out every night. I have to constantly push it back in. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you and have a nice day.